Welcome to the Girl Power Alliance podcast, where you're going to meet and hear from some inspiring women with incredible stories who are leading in business and in faith. We are on a mission to impact the world by empowering women to dream bigger through kingdom-minded mentoring and leadership. This is where women grow. Hello, and welcome back to the Girl Power Alliance podcast. This is super fun. I don't know why we didn't do this a really long time ago, but if you are listening or watching, you are being introduced to kind of our, Girl Power Alliance kind of like 2.0 is what you are seeing on our social media, in our podcasts, on our platform, and everything. And it is absolutely my honor to have these two beautiful women as guests today on the podcast. If you've been around GPA at all, you have seen and heard them a number of times, but I wanted to make it official on the podcast because I've done so in lives and different things. But the beautiful Farras, Seay, and Molly Gomez are now officially part of the GPA ownership. They are owners and they are moving forward and taking on bigger roles. So you're going to be seeing both of these women the same way you've been seeing them, but more of them, which is super exciting. So you're going to be hearing them on the podcast. I know that both of them, here's the true story. Both of them probably could, should, and will have their own singular podcasts. But for now, they're going to be using GPA as kind of maybe their trial run into their solo podcast. And so you're going to be seeing them alone, together, interviewing guests, and they're going to be taking a much bigger role just on the podcast side. And all things GPA as we transition. So welcome to both of you beautiful ladies. Welcome, Molly and Farras.
Thanks, Michelle. Super excited to be here. And I'm just, for people that can see, or if you're only hearing, Michelle has like the best hat on today. I got to step up my hat game. Like, it's so cute.
I made two resolutions in 20. I'm not a resolution person, but I had two things. I'm like, this year for sure, I'm going to become a hat person and I'm going to take a dance class. So I'm doing good on the first part.
I like that.
Farras.
What's up, party peoples? We're so excited. I'm super excited about the direction that everything is going and where it's headed and what we're doing with everything. It's going to be exciting to be so much more involved. And it's such an honor and I also feel like it was a long time coming. It's, you kind of weed through a lot of different things in business, and right. When you just find the right fit, you find the right fit. So I'm super excited about it. This year is going to be massive. I mean, from all the different changes that we're going to be making to the impact that we're going to make. We've seen the direction of where we were and where we're going, and it's just right on the money.
Yeah, I could not agree.
A couple months ago. So we're recording this in February. It'll be the first, you're listening or watching this at the very beginning, the first podcast that we released in March. But back in like November, God gave me the word for 2021. Do you girls remember what it was?
Your best year yet?
Yes, that was the theme. But the word...
Oh, transformation.
Transformational.
Nice, Farras. I was like, I can't remember. That's good.
I win.
You do win.
I win. I got to 100%.
Isn't it crazy to think that that's the word that God told me months and months ago? And now look at what we're doing. We're literally transforming Girl Power Alliance from like the starting gate into like, we're really upgrading it. So I just love how God works, where he really... I hate that it happens kind of in hindsight, but if we use hindsight, we look back, we can see all the things that he did in our lives to prepare us for where we're going.
Absolutely. No, I love that. And it's like, we've just seen from where we launched in a pandemic, and we've just seen roadblock after roadblock, or, kind of letting things fall off where they may, and letting things evolve the way it needed to just seeing where God's like, okay, before I really grow this thing in full capacity, here's a few tweaks you get to make so it could be so much more impactful down the road. And I love that we're going through that right now. I mean, yeah, it's a big load. There's a lot going on, but I wouldn't want to do this with anyone else. And what I love about what we're bringing is that, of course, we're going to get adversity and pushback, because what we're creating in this space of helping women in their faith, in their business, get that confidence and have that support system. Of course, the devil doesn't like that. He's like, wait, stop. We're going to hiccup here. We're going to stress you out there. We're going to sprinkle some of this garbage over here. And we see him coming from a mile away because we know the power that we bring and who we are called to be through the authority of God. And so that's where I'm like the more he pushes back, I'm like, all right, this is going to get really big. This is going to be a lot of fun.
I'm stoked. If you have been watching or listening from the very first days of the podcast, at least, then you've kind of watched the evolution and of people that were a part of the team, people that are no longer part of the team. And just, if I'm just being fully transparent, because of the stuff that I've been through as an entrepreneur and as a woman, it takes me, I don't want to say that I'm leery, but it's a little, I feel a little guarded when it comes to trust. Even just in the last year with Girl Power Alliance, there have been things that have happened that would really shake my ability to kind of trust. But God really, I feel so incredibly blessed to have the two of you, not just having been on the journey, but like locked in, like we're married now. I don't know if you guys realize that, but you are each married to me and each other. We're all like, we are in a marriage together with this.
Good thing we didn't lead with that. Otherwise it'd be like, what kind of podcast is this?
Right? They'd be like, Girl Power Alliance, we get that. But no, I mean, that's so true though. I think personally, you have to go through these things, and that's huge on transformation. You have to transform and go through some pretty hard things. And you talk about transparency. Let's just be real about it. There were some people that did some things that were just not in alignment with GPA, and they had to go. And that's just what it is. And, whether it was graceful, whether it was malicious, whatever it is, it's something that we had to go through as a community and as a business and as this and as a team and as a family to be like, okay, well, that didn't work. So now transforming into what we're doing now into 2021 with, it's almost like we're rebranding, and it's like we're being reborn again. And it's like, okay, this is the clear vision. This is where we're going. For a long time, it's like we had multiple different things going on, and it's like we niche down. We're being very targeted on what we're doing, and it's so beneficial, and there's so much meat and there's so much juicy and goodness in that. Like, it's going to be so exciting to see everything just catapult into what it is. And like Michelle said, this is in March. So by the time this is released and you guys are listening to it right now, like things are already set in motion and things are happening, and it's, you say yikes, but it's the transformation that is needed.
I want to touch on something really quickly, that all these three voices or these three faces, whatever you're looking or listening to, this isn't a God, like Michelle said, a God ordained marriage, a God ordained business partnership, friendship, everything. And what Michelle offers, what I offer, what Farras offers is also different, but so complementary to each other that there's no other way that we would come together and work as in sync as we do and as aligned as we are without God being the center of this all. And that's what's so exciting is that I remember, and I will preach this like always, when Michelle came to me and said, hey, this is what I have. I just felt the nudge in my spirit to reach out to you, see if there's something you're open to. And I said, no flipping way. I had the same vision. You just created it and you moved to it faster. And Michelle, you telling us that other women are saying the same thing, that has to feel good, And so from you having this from the ground up and bringing people like myself and Farras in, like, how are you feeling at the moment? Because that's something that God really just put on my heart to share. Like, this is so God ordained. Like, there's no other explanation or reason as to how this came to be, but you've seen it since the inception. So I'd love for you to comment on that.
I could cry, and it's so awesome to me because, well, I mean, it's funny, we're transforming, but really this is the purest, what we're doing now is the purest form of the vision that God gave me in the first place. And I don't know if it was outside influences or me just having like your eyes are bigger than your stomach kind of a thing and trying to like be all things to all people. I'm not sure exactly how it got a little convoluted, but I want to talk about just two things in particular. One was Farras. When Farras came on board, it was literally like she was like an angel from heaven that got sent to help me. And Farras, you're so humble. You and I've told Farras this, so this is you know, I don't feel like I'm like revealing something in confidence, but I feel like Farras in her career has been the woman behind the person, whether it's a man or a woman. She's so incredibly skilled and talented. She's so proficient. And if there's something that she isn't proficient in, she becomes proficient in it. She's really dedicated to what she does. And she does it with all of her heart. And so when Farras came on board, I was kind of like, I barely I was like scared to invite somebody into this thing. I didn't know Farras before Girl Power Alliance. I didn't know Molly before Girl Power Alliance. And so I was apprehensive and worried, but Farras has such a purity to her that when she came on board, I couldn't have a wall. Like you melted the wall because of who you are and what you bring to the table. And I am so excited about the fact that you are an owner of this company. This is yours. You no longer are the person in the background helping other people, that you get to really shine as the, amazing leader that God created you to be. And I'm super excited about that. And I want to talk about Molly in a second, but I thought maybe you wanted to say something, Farras, after that.
I mean, you know me, I am not good with the compliments and the praise, and it's really surreal, when you asked. And I remember when we first met, you were abrasive. You were like, "Meh, I like things like this, and I like this, and I this and this and that." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "She's definitely has a few battle wounds, And I had to really, my biggest thing at that time was, I'm just going to be who I am and bring whatever I can to the table, because I know that you need it. And I know that you needed that love and that support. So everything that you said is just incredible. And to be where we're at now, being a co-founder and going through everything we went through, and the growth, and everything from businesses to multiple different business ideas that are happening now, it's really surreal. And I'm so I said this the other day on a call that we all had. I think about it, and I'm just like, I don't want it to stop. I don't want things to end. I don't want things to, what's happening now. Like, I just want it to always be this way. And I know it won't be. I know that there are times when things aren't going to always be, easy or fun, or there's going to be, trials and tribulations. But I'm just so thankful that we're still here and we're all together. And it's I love being part of something that's bigger than me, because now I know in my heart I'm living and breathing and speaking the way that I would out in the streets, out if we weren't on a podcast, whether it's on social media. And I've talked about this before, but I'm being fully authentically me, and I owe that to DA. And so I'm so excited, and thank you for all of that stuff. And I love you guys.
I love you guys so much. And I just want to say about when you first came on board, what I realized looking back is part of my, I don't know, apprehensive abrasiveness was I was actually the other people on the team were so incongruent with me that it was creating this environment where I felt resistance almost from day one. And so I'm sure you've seen the difference when when Girl Power Alliance pruned off the pieces that didn't perfectly fit. Like I feel totally different. And so sorry about that. Sorry. I wanted to talk about like with Molly. So Molly, I don't know if this has ever happened to you if you're watching or listening, but like it was like she was highlighted for me on social media. I didn't know her. We became friends on social media somehow. You know how that happens. And it was like her posts were like 3D, and I would see them over and over. And I just was like, I felt this magnetic connection, this attraction. I was like, I need to be friends with this girl. And so when we reached out, I'll never forget, I was walking around in my backyard because it was a beautiful sunny day when you and I talked. And after I got off the phone with you, I was like, babe, I think, and this is really, I mean, I'm just telling you the real truth. I got off the phone with
Molly, and I walked into my house and I said to Bobby, babe, I think Molly was the one I was supposed to do this with. That was months and months before you and I ever actually did something with GPA. Like, you were a course contributor and stuff, but so you Molly you've been on television, so you've been at the forefront. You have been somebody that has been out in the front, just with your life, and you've taken on uh, the job, if you will, of really being bold with your faith. And I don't think the world has ever needed it more. You have a ton of talents and skills that you bring to the table, and you have the biggest heart. And you're such an encourager, Molly. For those of you that ever wonder, if you have somebody that you're working with and they're, I don't know, your boss or your coach or whatever, one of the things that Molly does that she has done with me personally, since day one, is she'll just call or send a message. She did it this morning. I didn't respond to your voice message this morning, that I got it. But she'll call and say, I just want to see how you're doing. I just wanted to check in on you. And I have not had very many people do that in my life. And so, in addition to all of the other things, I feel when I was actually writing out the paperwork to make it an official, make you part of the corporation, I felt the Holy Spirit so much, you guys, that I felt like I was literally, that we as a company were walking into something new, just from the moment that happened. And I just, like I said, I could cry. I feel so blessed by the two of you every day.
Oh, Michelle, I got nothing but love for you. It's amazing what we're creating, and then just the friendships that we're developing and the path that, we're creating as well for other people to follow. Because eventually Girl Power Alliance will be the standard of this type of membership, this business, this value driven thing that's really going to help women excel in so many different areas. And I am just so grateful every time. And I remember it wasn't that long ago, my husband looked at me and he's just like, babe, I'm not sure exactly what this is, Girl Power Alliance, but I know how much you love it. And I'm just really proud of you guys for creating it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so great. Coming from my husband, I was like, even if you don't really understand, at least you get how important it is for me. And he's just like, any way that I can help. And it's just so great to have other people see, what is this thing you keep talking about? I see that you light up about it, because we all know that it's something so much bigger than us, and all the stuff that we're going through to get this thing really rolling and set up for major success, which is going to plant seeds and have so much abundance flow through it. It's all going to be worth it. And we know that. And so back to your point of checking in on leaders, I love doing that. So if you're taking anything from what she said, we all have those people in our life that we look up to, that they have a lot of people that depend on them. They have a big team, a big organization, company, whatever. They have a lot of responsibility. People don't really check in on those type of people just because oh, they got it together. They're fine. They have the mindset, they're good. Hello, we all bleed red. We're still people. We have our ups and downs. And so I know anytime Farras is like, hey, I need this, or I'm like, hey, I need that. Michelle jumps in a flash, I got this. I got this. I got this. Well, Michelle, you're human too. And so being able to take that time to be like, I don't know what you need. I don't know what Pandora's box I just opened for what you're going to respond back. However, I do know God's going to give me the capacity to do so, because he gave me the nudge to reach out in the first place. So people really pay attention to that right there, because that will deepen, strengthen, and really add more fruit to your relationships when you take the time to really check in, not just being like, hey, how's it going? I wish we could get rid of that phrase in society, because it drives me nuts. It's there's no meat there. It's just surface level. I don't really care. Here's an answer. I got to go by,
I love that so much, Molly, because when you were saying that, and we had a call today, and what's super crazy is the amount of downloads I get when I speak with Molly is it fires off. It's absolutely insane. But as she was just saying that, that's what Girl Power Alliance is. It's women helping women succeed to the next level. I feel like for the longest time, women have been put in a box or in the background or behind the scenes, and they do whatever that they have to do in that area, and they feel like that's the only area they're going to be, me included. But that's what Girl Power Alliance is about. It's about checking in on your people. It's about supporting your people, helping wherever you can, because it takes a village to succeed sometimes. And as women, helping each other is crucial to that. I wouldn't be where I am without these two ladies pushing me and pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. You know, I
That's one
have a
too many
few
pushes,
mentors.
I feel like.
Well, no, but it's true though. And it's like, I have a few other mentors that just continue to push, and they're women. And it's just like, without that, you kind of fall behind the scenes. And with Girl Power Alliance, that's where we're like, listen, like, Michelle says this so much and I love it. Your voice matters. You matter. What you're doing matters. No matter how small you think it really is, it could benefit, just like Molly says in her courses. Like, your story is meant to mentor somebody else. Like, I could just go on and on of how many things are so important and how many different things are, really happening inside Girl Power Alliance that you can use on a daily basis. Like, we don't just say these things over and over again, like, your voice matters and your story matters. Like, it's so true. And the more you embed that and the more you believe it, the bigger and better your life is going to be, not only for you, but for God, your family, your friends, your life, how everything is done. And that's the thing with Girl Power Alliance. Like, this is the true definition of where women really grow into whatever that is. And it can just be like, oh, I have a cooking show, or, oh, I love recipes, and, oh, I want to, create this wood art. Whatever it is, I don't care what it is. I don't care. Just do it. And if you're too scared, come over here and we will push
Come
you
on, somebody.
until you do it. So, I mean, that's my insight. I had to do that. I had to hop in and say that.
See how lucky I am. Those of you that are listening and watching, you guys are gifts, and what you have, the way that you have impacted the world just since I've known you, just since I've met you, is so significant. And I know it's so inspiring to other people. And our whole goal here, the whole vision, is that we create an environment, a community, an atmosphere, so that you can step into exactly the person that God created you to be, so that you will feel empowered to take the scary steps, but you won't feel alone because you've got this community of women rallying around you, pushing you, praying for you, and you feel equipped, because we are going to bring to you the most remarkable women month after month that are going to pour into you all of their knowledge, all of their tips, their techniques, so that to shorten your learning curve and to add to you, so that you can take that and then go pay it forward. And then somebody can take that and pay it forward and pay it forward. And I believe the world has changed. Every time we do that, we are taking action on changing the world. And it does change the world. I know it feels small to me sometimes. Like, I'm not even doing anything. There's so many problems in this world, and I feel sometimes overwhelmed by them. Like, God, how can I do anything? The problems are so big, and I'm just one, like, insignificant person. And he continually reminds me that when you impact one life, you're doing it. And so it's just exciting. I'm extraordinarily humbled. I'm extraordinarily excited. I feel so just beyond grateful and blessed for what's happening. I'm excited for you girls to host podcasts on your own, like solos. Are both of you going to do a solos here inside GPA? Like, you'll just get on and record and do a solo?
Yeah. I mean, you're calling us out, but sure, let's step into that. I'm just kidding. Yeah, of course.
I can't wait. Because I got some crazy
I'm
stuff.
excited about that. And then are you guys both going to be doing interviews too with people?
There it is, calling us out again. Yep, we're
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I love that. I think that's so fun because, I help with one right now, and it's just so fun because you can ask anything. And I think people don't always know what you're going to say. And so that's the funnest thing for me, because then you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that. And I think that's where the fun is.
Farras. I love it. Yes, all the things, Michelle, it's a team effort across the board from here until forever.
Yay. Well, I couldn't be more happy to be in a 3-way marriage with the two of you ladies.
I love it. And our husbands agree, so it's all good.
Do you, any final thoughts about, I don't know, where we're going, what we're doing, what you want to tell somebody that's listening? Like, what do we, if I'm listening to this and this is the first podcast I ever listened to from Girl Power Alliance, what would you, each of you want to say to this woman?
That's easy.
Well, I'll go. So what I would say, if you're listening to this, if you're really listening to the meat of where this is coming from, you're seeing the fruit of God's labor of being able to pluck different people that didn't know each other, coming together, utilizing their gifts, their skill sets, their talents to make a bigger impact on the world. If you're going to get anything from this episode, that's what I would get. It's not just us. Oh, hey, Farras, how you doing? Michelle, Molly, how you doing? This and that. No, we're showing you from the ground up what this looks like. So if you're having that nudge, I got to do something bigger. First of all, don't do it on your own. There's other people that likely are going to want to do the same thing. Be patient and allow God to highlight those people and then go after it. And that's what you're seeing here. So we're literally giving you the blueprint, the roadmap, everything from the podcast to the groups, to everything that we have going on in GPA. And that's what I would take if I were to listen from this. And that's what I want to share and have people really sum that up and get that piece right there.
To add to it, this is the first time and you're just listening to a podcast. You don't normally listen to a podcast and you're just at home and you've been dealing with all this stuff and you don't know what to do next, is become more than you thought you ever could be. And if you're tired of just being stagnant, if you're tired of just doing the same things over and over again, if you're tired of not having your cup full, and what I mean by not having your cup full is having that fulfillment when you wake up and you know that there's a purpose for you and you know that you're meant for something more, but you're not sure what it is, join GPA. Join GPA, because within joining of Girl Power Alliance, you will find what it is that you are meant to do, meant to be, who you're meant to seek out, and who you're meant to collaborate with, whatever it is. And one of the biggest things is you're not going to be alone here. You're not going to be alone. You're not going to feel, you're going to have, even if you're like, oh, I'm not good with women, I'm not good with girlfriends. This is a group you can trust. This is a group that you're going to fall in love with. This is a group that you can be vulnerable with. This is a group that is just going to make such a massive impact on you. And I say this wholeheartedly because that's what happened to me. You know, I'm just this regular person, you know, like Michelle says, but now I know that I'm not. I know that I'm bigger than all of it, all of the nonsense, all of the noise, all of the drama. This is a place for you to really find you and have that relationship with God that you've always wanted but didn't know how to find it.
Come on, somebody. That was,
I mean, yes to everything. Yes to everything.
I feel like I want to like scream and shout here. I've been wanting to like scream and shout on this entire podcast recording. I'm just like, come on. Like, I don't know. There's something inside of me, but I'm not trying to blow people's eardrums out. So I'm just going to say it and
hello, and I'm here.
Adjust your volume if you scream, no worries. I feel it too. And I hope that if you're listening to this, whether you've been listening since the beginning or you're new, or this is the first time you've ever listened to Girl Power Alliance, I just want to say this is my message to you, that whatever that thing is that's deep down inside of you that you've been pushing down, that you've been hearing maybe for years, maybe your whole life, that you've ignored because you felt like you weren't good enough, you didn't have the skills. There's no way that God could be calling you to something as, you know, why you, right? If you've been wondering, no, that can't be God, why me? Because you were designed for it. You were born for it. You literally were made for the thing, whatever it is. And the scarier, the better. Because here's the thing. How could we ever learn the power of God unless we really need it in the endeavors that we attempt, right? If you knew that you could do something, it would be in your effort. It would be in your, your ability. Then why would you need God? So the bigger, the scarier, the better, because then God could show up in massive, massive ways, which he has here inside of Girl Power Alliance with each of us individually and us as a company. And I'm expecting him to show up really big over the next 30 days as we embark on, another big jump here. And I know he's going to show up. So we, like both of the girls said, we want to welcome you into our community. We have a private group on Facebook called GPA Inner Circle. Go over there and become part of the group. And if you are looking to be part of a little bit more of an exclusive community, if you're looking to actively engage in growth and mentorship and networking with women that are intentional like you are, then head over to girlpoweralliance.com and join the membership. We have a lot of amazing things happening. And if you're even thinking about it, just know this: we've been praying for you for a really long time, and you are welcome and wanted and needed inside that community.
That's good. Oh, I love this. Michelle, thank you so much for setting this up. This is amazing. And I'm just excited to see what God does from here on out.
Me too. Thank you, girls.
You got it.
We're pumped. Super, super pumped.
See you soon.
We'll see you in there, guys.
I loved recording that with those girls. What a blast. If you have been following along in our journey, then you're about to encounter phase 2. We're so pumped. I can't even believe it. So stay tuned as we go through our relaunch of everything, basically the website, the membership, our offerings, and I just know that God is going to honor it and honor you, and the growth that we've seen already in the last year, the connections we've made, the lives that have been impacted. It's only going to up level. So head over to girlpoweralliance.com and make it official. We now have a $1.99 30-day trial so that you can kind of test it out and see what's up. You don't get access to everything when you do that, but you get access to a rolling to 60 days, whatever is the last 60 days of content inside of our membership. And you can access our monthly Master Trainer Zoom and our networking Zoom that we do once a month, beginning this month in March. And if you have not heard about Radiant Leadership Academy, it's really time. The testimonials are rolling in already. We're just about halfway through, and my gosh, God is doing a mighty, mighty work in these women's lives through this incredible program called Radiant Leadership Academy. And if you're looking to up-level any area of your life, then this is the program for you. You can really just, God, He knows what we need and when we need it. And this program is definitely a game changer. And I know He's arming and equipping women all around the world and saying, listen, it's time for you to stand up and stand in your rightful place as a leader on this planet and have the impact that I designed you to have. So head over there. You can also access that at girlpoweralliance.com. Whatever happens, never ever forget that at Girl Power Alliance, this is our mantra. This is where women grow.